Fleet Admiral Do-Hyun Kwan stood on the bridge of the UDS Horizon, Earth's largest warship. Around him, displays showed the approaching Valthoran fleet. 1,014 ships, all headed for Earth, all ready to fire. "Status report," Do-Hyun said calmly. "All ships are in position." His second officer replied, "Operation Gentle Touch is ready to execute on your command. Civilian evacuations?" "Completed, sir. Everyone who wanted to leave the stations has been moved planetside, though most people chose to stay and watch." "Of course they did," Do-Hyun muttered. He looked at the screens again. The Valthorans would be in weapons range in 15 minutes. His communication officer, Specialist Nari O, turned toward him. She looked nervous. "Sir, the Valthoran Emperor is broadcasting again. Should I put it on speakers?" "Why not?" Do-Hyun said. "Let's hear what he has to say." Emperor Catherine's voice filled the bridge. "Humans, your time is up. You did not evacuate. You did not surrender. You chose destruction, so be it. All ships charge weapons. Prepare to fleet-wide EMP pulse in 3, 2, 1, now," Do-Hyun said quietly. Across the entire solar system, every human ship fired at once. Not missiles, not plasma weapons, not lasers. Electromagnetic pulse waves, carefully calibrated and precisely aimed. The effect was instant. Every Valthoran ship went dark. Every weapon system failed. Every shield collapsed. Every engine shut down. 1,014 warships became 1,014 floating metal boxes in the space of 2 seconds. On the Crimson Dominion, Emperor Catherine sat in his command throne staring at dead screens. Emergency lights flickered on, casting red shadows. "What happened?" he demanded. "What did they do?" "All systems are offline, Your Majesty," one of his officers reported. "Weapons, shields, engines, everything. Even backup power is failing." "Then restore it." "Fight back." "We can't, Your Majesty. The pulse fried our control systems. We'd need to manually reboot everything. It will take hours." The Emperor stood up, his crystalline face flushed with rage. "This is impossible." A hologram appeared in the center of the bridge. It was Captain Jiwoo Kim, smiling pleasantly. "Good afternoon, Emperor Catherine," Jiwoo said. "My name is Captain Kim. I wanted to let you know that your fleet is completely safe. We've disabled your weapons and engines, but we haven't damaged any ships. No one is hurt." "Everyone is fine. You dare!" the Emperor shouted. "You dare attack the Valthoran Empire?" "With respect, Your Majesty, you attacked us. We're just defending ourselves. But we're defending ourselves carefully. We don't want to hurt anyone." "Then you are fools. When we restore our systems, we will destroy you." Jiwoo's smile didn't change. "Your Majesty, restoring your systems will take approximately 6 hours. We'll be tractoring your entire fleet into stable orbit around our moon. It's a nice view. You'll like it, tractoring?" The Emperor looked confused. "Tractor beams. We're going to gently pull your ships to a safe location. Then we're going to send medical teams to check on everyone. We're also sending food, water, and some entertainment packages. We figured you might be bored." Emperor Catherine's mouth opened and closed several times. No words came out. "Oh, and one more thing," Jiwoo continued. "Admiral Tai-Ho Lee would like to invite you to tea on Aegis Prime Station. Whenever you're ready. No pressure, just tea and conversation." The hologram disappeared. The Emperor sat down slowly. Around him, his officers were silent. Through the windows, they could see human ships approaching. Small ships painted white with red crosses. "Medical vessels, they're sending doctors," one officer whispered. "They disabled our entire fleet and now they're sending doctors." 4 hours later, Emperor Catherine sat in the same conference room where High Commander Velthar had sat days before. Admiral Tai-Ho Lee sat across from him, pouring tea with steady hands. "Thank you for coming, Your Majesty," Tai-Ho said politely. The Emperor didn't touch his tea. "You humiliated me. You humiliated my empire." "We defended ourselves," Tai-Ho corrected gently. "You brought 1,000 warships to destroy our homeworld. We stopped you, but we stopped you without killing anyone, without destroying anything. Doesn't that count for something?" "You made us look weak." "You made yourselves look weak," Dr. Hannah Park said. She sat beside Tai-Ho, her tablet in front of her. "Your Majesty, we've been studying your history, your culture. We know about the empire that enslaved you. We know about your rebellion. We know about the 300 years you've spent trying to prove you're strong." The Emperor's eyes narrowed. "What do you know about it?" "Enough," Hannah said softly. "Enough to understand that you're not evil. You're afraid. You're so afraid of being conquered again that you became conquerors. But you never fought anyone who could fight back. So you never learned the difference between strength and cruelty. There is no difference, the Emperor said. Yes, there is, Taiho said. Strength is protecting what matters. Cruelty is hurting those who can't defend themselves. You've been cruel, Your Majesty. Not because you're a bad person, but because you're traumatized. And trauma makes people do terrible things. The Emperor was quiet for a long moment. Then he spoke, and his voice was very small. What happens now? Do you conquer us? Do you take revenge for what we tried to do? No, Taiho said. Now we help you. Help us? We're going to send engineers to repair your ships. We're going to send teachers to show you new technology. We're going to offer trade agreements, cultural exchanges, and a defense pact. We're going to help you build a better empire. A real one. One based on cooperation instead of fear. Why? The Emperor asked. Why would you do this for us? Because we can, Jiwoo said. He had entered the room quietly. Because we're strong enough to be kind. Because we remember what it's like to be afraid and alone. Because first contact shouldn't end with war. It should end with friendship. The Emperor looked at his tea. Then slowly he picked it up and took a sip. It's good, he said quietly. It's chamomile, Hana said. It helps with stress. 3 months later, Captain Jiwoo Kim stood on the bridge of a new ship. The UDS Explorer was designed for long-range missions, for finding new worlds, new civilizations, new friends. Beside him, High Commander Velthar stood at the navigation console. The Valthoran was no longer wearing armor. He wore a simple uniform with both Earth and Valthor Prime insignia on the shoulders. Course laid in, Captain, Velthar said. Ready to jump to faster than light on your command. How are you feeling? Jiwoo asked. Nervous about the mission? A little, Velthar admitted. We don't know what we'll find out there. Could be dangerous. Could be hostile. Jiwoo grinned. Are you kidding? This is going to be amazing. Amazing. Velthar looked at him. What if we meet another aggressive species? What if they try to attack us? Then we'll do what we did with you, Jiwoo said. We'll show them there's a better way. We'll teach them that strength and kindness aren't opposites. We'll make friends. Velthar thought about this. Then he smiled. It was the first real smile Jiwoo had ever seen on a Valthoran face. I like this job much better than conquering, Velthar said. Me too, Jiwoo agreed. All hands prepare for jump. Next stop, the Andromeda sector. Let's see who else is out there waiting to meet us. The Explorer jumped into faster-than-light travel, carrying humans and Valthorans together into the unknown. Behind them, Earth and Valthor Prime continued their work, building, learning, growing, no longer as conqueror and conquered, but as partners. As friends, the galaxy was big. There were many more species to meet, many more empires to encounter, and Earth was ready for all of them with kindness, with strength, and if necessary, with carefully calibrated EMP pulses and really good tea. High Commander Velthar stood alone in his private quarters aboard the Crimson Dominion. The room was dark except for the glow from the communication panel. His hands were shaking as he prepared to contact the Valthoran homeworld. This was going to be the most difficult conversation of his life. The screen flickered. Emperor Catherine appeared. He was old for a Valthoran, his crystalline skin dull with age, but his eyes were sharp and angry. Velthar, the Emperor said, it has been 3 days. Why have the humans not surrendered? Your Majesty, Velthar began. He had practiced this speech 100 times. The humans, they are not what we expected. Explain. They are more advanced than us, much more advanced. Their technology is beyond anything we have ever seen. Their weapons could destroy our entire fleet in minutes, maybe seconds. The Emperor stared at him for a long moment. Then he laughed. You're joking, Catherine said. This is some kind of test, some kind of trick. I am not joking, Your Majesty. I have seen their capabilities. One of their fighters disabled 3 of our destroyers in 30 seconds. Their defensive satellites could obliterate our flagship in less than a minute. They have colonies in 15 star systems. They have been exploring space for 300 years and fighting wars among themselves. They are warriors, Your Majesty. Real warriors. Impossible, Catherine said flatly. They only recently achieved spaceflight. Our intelligence confirmed this. Our intelligence was wrong, Velthar said. They achieved spaceflight 300 years ago. They hid their true capabilities. They were cautious, smart. You have been compromised, the Emperor said. His voice was cold now. The humans have deceived you somehow. Hypnotized you. Drugged you. Your Majesty, please, enough! The Emperor's face filled the screen. You will return to Valthor Prime immediately. You are relieved of command. I'm sending the war fleet. 1,000 ships. They will crush these humans and prove that you are either a coward or a fool. No, Velthar said desperately. Please, Your Majesty. Don't send the war fleet. The humans don't want to fight. They're trying to be kind. But if you force them, if you threaten their homeworld, they will defend themselves. And we will lose. We will lose everything. The Valthoran Empire does not lose, Catherine said. We are the strongest force in the galaxy. We have never been defeated. And we will not be defeated by hairless apes who barely know how to build a rocket. The transmission ended. Velthar sat in the darkness for a long time. Then he made another call. This one was to Captain Jiwoo Kim. On Aegis Prime Station, Jiwoo was asleep when his communicator beeped. He grabbed it quickly, squinting at the screen. Commander Velthar, he said. It's 3 a.m. I need to speak with Admiral Taeho, Velthar said. His voice sounded strange, defeated. It's urgent. 20 minutes later, Jiwoo, Admiral Taeho, and Dr. Hana Park sat in a small conference room. On the screen, Velthar looked tired and scared. The Emperor doesn't believe me, Velthar said. I told him about your technology, your weapons, your capabilities. He thinks I'm lying, or that you've tricked me somehow. He's sending the war fleet. How many ships? Taeho asked. 1,000. The room was quiet. When will they arrive? Hana asked. 5 days, maybe 6. Jiwoo looked at Taeho. The Admiral's face was calm, but his jaw was tight. Commander Velthar, Taeho said slowly. Why are you telling us this? Because I don't want my people to die, Velthar said simply. I've seen what you can do. I know what will happen if the war fleet attacks. You will destroy them. You'll have no choice. And the Valthoran Empire will be finished. We don't want to destroy anyone, Hana said softly. I know, Velthar said. That's what makes this worse. You've been kind to us, patient. You showed us your strength to scare us away, not to hurt us. But the Emperor won't listen. He believes the Empire is invincible. He spent 300 years conquering primitives and calling himself a great leader. He can't imagine losing. Is there any way to stop the fleet before it arrives? Jiwoo asked. No, the Emperor commands directly. Only he can recall them. Taeho stood up and walked to the window. He looked out at Earth glowing blue and green below. Dr. Park, he said, you've been studying the Valthorans. What can you tell me about their history? Their culture? Hana pulled up files on her tablet. They were conquered 350 years ago by another empire. Enslaved for 50 years. When they finally rebelled and won their freedom, they adopted their conqueror's military culture. They became what they hated. For 300 years, they've been expanding by conquering primitive worlds. They've never faced a real challenge. So they're traumatized, Taeho said. They're afraid of being weak again. Yes, Hana said. And worse, they've built their entire identity around being strong. Being conquerors. If they lose to us, it will destroy everything they believe about themselves. Then we need to make sure they don't lose, Taeho said. Everyone looked at him. Sir, Jiwoo said. We need to end this without casualties, Taeho explained. Without destroying their fleet. Without humiliating them. We need to show them that strength isn't about conquest. It's about protection. About building rather than destroying. How? Velthar asked. How can you stop 1,000 warships without destroying them? Taeho smiled. Commander, has anyone in the Valthoran Empire ever heard of non-lethal weapons? 3 days later, Captain Hyun Woo Song sat in the cockpit of his scout ship, floating at the edge of Earth's solar system. He was young for a captain, only 30 years old. But he had the best detection equipment in the fleet. His screens lit up. Control. This is Scout 7. I have multiple faster-than-light signatures. Counting. 987. No, 993. Still counting. Confirmed, Scout 7, came the reply. The Valthoran war fleet has arrived. Hyunwoo watched as ship after ship dropped out of FTL travel. They spread across space like a swarm of angry insects. Big ships. Battleships, carriers, destroyers, cruisers. All of them armed. All of them ready for war. Control final count is 1,014 ships. They're forming a battle formation. Looks like they're preparing to advance on Earth. Copy that. Scout 7, maintain position and observe. Do not engage, understood, staying out of their way. Through his long-range sensors, Hyunwoo watched the Valthoran fleet move forward. They were slow by human standards, but they were determined. At their current speed, they would reach Earth in 6 hours. Control, they're broadcasting a message, putting it on speakers. A voice filled Hyunwoo's cockpit. It was deep and old and very angry. People of Earth, I am Emperor Catherine of the Valthoran Empire. You have deceived my commander. You have made false claims about your technology. You have refused to surrender. This ends now. My fleet will destroy your defenses. We will burn your cities. We will show you the price of defiance. You have 1 hour to evacuate your homeworld. After that, we will open fire. Hyunwoo muted the transmission. Well, he said to himself. The Emperor sounds upset. Scout 7, Control said. Return to base. Operation Gentle Touch is now active. Hyunwoo smiled. On my way. This should be interesting. The meeting room on Aegis Prime Station was designed to impress visitors. Big windows showed Earth floating below, blue and beautiful. Soft lights made everything look professional. Comfortable chairs surrounded a long table made of real wood from Earth. Dr. Hannah Park stood by the window and tried not to smile. In 30 minutes, she would meet a real alien, a living, breathing being from another world. This was what she had studied for her entire life. Stop looking so excited, Captain Jiwoo Kim said. He was adjusting his dress uniform for the 5th time. Remember, we're supposed to be scared. I am a scientist, Hannah said. I am supposed to be excited, just try to look a little worried, please. The door opened. Specialist Yuna Choi walked in, followed by engineer Minho Kang. Both wore their best uniforms. Both looked like they were trying very hard not to laugh. The Valthoran shuttle has docked, Yuna said. They'll be here in 5 minutes. Any problems? Jiwoo asked. Their docking system is manual, Minho said. Completely manual. No computer assistance at all. It took them 20 minutes to line up with our airlock. Hannah bit her lip. She had to stay professional. She had to stay calm. The door opened again. This time Admiral Taeho Lee walked in. Behind him were 2 security guards, both trying to look serious and failing. Everyone remember the plan, Admiral Taeho said. We are friendly. We are cooperative. We are not going to mention how far ahead we are technologically. We will listen to their demands. We will ask questions. We will gather information. Clear? Yes, sir, everyone said. Good, they're coming. The doors opened one more time. High Commander Velthar walked in, and Hannah forgot all about laughing. He was tall, at least 2.5 meters. His crystalline skin caught the light and threw rainbow patterns on the walls. His eyes were deep black, like looking into space itself. He moved with grace and power. Behind him, 4 other Valthorans entered, all wearing armor. Humans, Velthar said. His voice was just as deep as it had been on the transmission. I am High Commander Velthar. I speak with the voice of the Emperor. I bring the might of the Valthoran Empire. Welcome, Admiral Taeho said. He bowed slightly, the way he had practiced. I am Admiral Taeho Lee. This is Captain Jiwoo Kim, Dr. Hannah Park, and our staff. Please sit. We have prepared refreshments. The Valthorans looked at the chairs. They looked at each other. Slowly, carefully, they sat down. The chairs were too small for them. We do not need your food, Velthar said. We are here for your surrender. Of course, Taeho said smoothly. But perhaps first you could tell us more about your empire? We know so little about the galaxy beyond our small system. Velthar seemed surprised. Maybe he expected humans to argue or beg. But he straightened in his too small chair and began to speak. The Valthoran Empire has existed for 10,000 years, he said. We have conquered world after world. Our military is unmatched. Our technology is the most advanced in the galaxy. We have defeated every enemy who dared to resist. Fascinating, Hannah said. She had her tablet out, taking notes like a student. How many worlds are in your empire? 12 inhabited systems, Velthar said proudly. Soon to be 13 when you join us. Hannah nodded and wrote that down. She did not mention that Earth alone had 15 colonized systems. And how long did it take to build this empire? Jiwoo asked. 300 years, another Valthoran said. He seemed younger than Velthar. I am Sub-Commander Reth. We have been expanding since the Great War ended. A war? Hannah leaned forward. Tell me about it. The Valthorans looked at each other. Velthar's expression changed just for a moment. He looked sad. That is history, he said. Not relevant to your surrender. Still, Taeho said. We would like to understand our future rulers, please indulge us. Velthar was quiet for a long moment. Then he spoke. 350 years ago, another empire conquered our world. They took everything. Our freedom, our dignity, our future. We were slaves for 50 years. Then we learned their ways, their weapons, their tactics. We rebelled, we won, and we swore never to be weak again. The room was silent. Hana felt something heavy settle in her chest. These weren't evil conquerors. They were traumatized survivors. So you became conquerors yourselves, Tejo said softly. We became strong, Velthar said. Strength is survival. Weakness is death. I see, Tejo said. And the worlds you conquered? What were they like? Primitive, Reth said. Pre-spaceflight civilizations. Easy to defeat, easy to control. Minho made a small sound. He tried to cover it with a cough. You only conquered primitive worlds? Jiwoo asked carefully. It is wise to expand carefully, Velthar said. We are cautious, strategic. But, Hana said, humans have spaceflight. We have colonies. We have defenses. Didn't that make you hesitate? Velthar smiled. It was not a nice smile. Your colonies are new. Your defenses are weak. We have watched your communications. You only reached your moon a few hundred years ago. You are still learning. Still growing. This is the perfect time to bring you into the Empire. Our moon? Yuna said. She could not help herself. We reached the moon in 1969. That was almost 300 years ago. Exactly, Velthar said. Very recent. You are practically infants in space. And in those 300 years, Minho said slowly, did you consider what we might have built? We have seen your ships, Reth said. Simple designs. Slow engines. Basic weapons. Those are cargo haulers, Minho said. What? Velthar asked. Cargo haulers, transports. Ships for moving goods. They're not military vessels. Velthar waved a hand. It does not matter. We have brought enough force to overwhelm any resistance. Now shall we discuss terms? You will disarm your military. You will provide resources to the Empire. You will accept Valtharan governors. In return, we will not destroy your cities. That's very generous, Tejo said. His voice was completely flat. But first, perhaps we should show you something. Would you like to observe a training exercise? We were planning to run one today anyway. It would give you a chance to see Earth's capabilities. Velthar's eyes narrowed. You wish to impress us with your weapons? No, Tejo said. We wish to show you who we are, what we can do. We believe in honesty, Commander. Full disclosure. Then you can make an informed decision about whether conquest is really the path you want to take. The Valthorans talked among themselves in their own language. It sounded like crystals chiming. Finally, Velthar nodded. Very well. Show us your training exercise. It will be amusing to see what you consider military power. Excellent, Tejo said. He smiled. It was not a warm smile. I think you'll find it very educational. The observation deck was the best place on Aegis Prime Station to watch space operations. Giant windows curved around the entire room, giving a perfect view in all directions. High Commander Velthar and his officers stood at the windows, their crystalline skin reflecting the starlight. Your station is adequate, Velthar said. He was trying to sound unimpressed. Small but functional. Captain Jiwoo Kim did not mention that Aegis Prime was just one of 40 stations orbiting Earth, or that it was considered a medium-sized station, not even in the top 10 largest. Thank you, Jiwoo said instead. The exercise will begin shortly. We've prepared a scenario where one of our fighters will defend against multiple hostile ships. One fighter? Sub-Commander Reth laughed. Against how many opponents? 3 of your destroyers, Admiral Tejo Lee said calmly. We've simulated their weapons and defenses based on the scans we took when you arrived. Velthar turned sharply. You scanned our fleet? Of course, Tejo said. Standard security protocol. Surely you scanned our station. The Valthorans looked at each other. They had not scanned the station. They had not thought they needed to. This simulation is pointless, Velthar said. One fighter cannot defeat 3 destroyers. This is basic mathematics, perhaps, Dr. Hana Park said. She was smiling slightly. But let's watch anyway. For science, a new voice came over the speakers. It was young and female and sounded completely relaxed. Control, this is Starfall. Colonel Surinam reporting. I'm ready for the exercise. Confirmed, Starfall, Jiwoo said into his communicator. 3 simulated targets are being activated now. Rules of engagement. Disable all 3 targets within 5 minutes. Weapons are set to 0.01% power. 0.01? Sora's voice sounded amused. Sir, that's barely a tickle. We don't want to accidentally damage our guests' ships, Jiwoo said. Wait, Velthar said. You're using our actual ships? Not simulations. The destroyers you left at the edge of the system, Taeho confirmed. Don't worry. We won't hurt them. Much. Through the window, a sleek shape appeared. The starfall was beautiful. It was small, barely 30 meters long, shaped like a blade. Blue light glowed from its engines. That is your fighter? Reth asked. It is so small. Size isn't everything, Engineer Minho Kang said. He was trying very hard not to smile. 3 Valthoran destroyers came into view. They were huge compared to the starfall. Each one was at least 500 meters long, bristling with weapons. Target lock acquired, Sora's voice said. Beginning engagement. Timer starts now. The starfall moved. Velthar blinked. One moment the fighter was floating still in space. The next moment it was behind the first destroyer. What, he started to say. Blue light flashed. The destroyer's weapon systems went dark. Its engines sputtered and died. It began to drift, powerless. First target disabled, Sora said. Time elapsed. 8 seconds. The starfall was already moving toward the second destroyer. This one was ready. It fired its plasma cannons. Massive bolts of green energy shot toward the tiny fighter. The starfall dodged. It did not just move out of the way. It danced. It spun and twisted through the plasma fire like a leaf in the wind. None of the shots came close. Their pilot is good, Reth admitted, but they cannot maintain that forever. They will make a mistake, will they? Hana asked. The starfall flipped sideways somehow and fired. Another blue flash. The second destroyer went dark. Second target disabled. Time elapsed. 19 seconds. The third destroyer tried to run. Its engines flared as it turned away, trying to escape. It was not fast enough. The starfall caught up to it in seconds. It circled the destroyer once, twice, like a shark studying prey. Then it fired multiple shots in rapid succession. Every weapon system on the destroyer died. The engines failed. The shields collapsed. Third target disabled. Time elapsed, 32 seconds. Exercise complete. All targets neutralized with 0 damage to hostile vessels. Good work, Starfall, Jiwoo said. Return to dock. The fighter spun once, almost playfully, and zipped back toward the station. The observation deck was completely silent. Velthar's mouth was open. His officers looked like they had seen a ghost. Reth had grabbed the window frame to steady himself. That's impossible, Velthar whispered. No fighter can move like that. No weapons can disable a ship that fast. Colonel Soranam is one of our best pilots, Taeho said. But she's not the best. She ranks about 15th in the defense fleet. 15th? Reth's voice cracked. And the Starfall is an experimental design, Minho added helpfully. We're still testing it. Our main fighters are actually faster. Velthar turned to look at Taeho. His crystalline face had gone pale, if that was possible. How? He asked. How are you so advanced? We've been working hard, Taeho said. 300 years of space exploration. 200 years of colony building. 150 years of military development. We've fought wars against ourselves, which taught us a lot. We've had to defend against asteroids, solar flares, and hostile environments. We've learned. But your ships, Velthar said, the ones we saw in your broadcasts, they looked simple. Those were cargo haulers, Hana said gently. We don't advertise our military technology. That would be like painting a target on ourselves. Jiwoo's communicator beeped. He listened for a moment, then nodded. Admiral, we have another demonstration ready if our guests are interested. Taeho looked at the Valthorans. They looked terrified. Perhaps we should take a break, he said kindly. Commander Velthar, you and your officers must be tired. We can continue this conversation later. No, Velthar said. His voice was shaking, but he straightened his back. No, we will see everything. We came here to conquer. We should know what we are facing. Very well, Taeho said. Minho, show them the defensive satellite system. Minho nodded and pulled up a holographic display. It showed Earth from space, surrounded by thousands of tiny dots. These are our defensive satellites, he explained. We have 8,000 in total. They protect Earth from asteroids, space debris, and hostile attacks. 8,000? Reth said weakly. Each one carries automated defense weapons. Lasers, mostly. They can calculate trajectories, identify threats, and respond within milliseconds. How powerful are these lasers? Velthar asked. Well, Minho said. He looked uncomfortable. According to our calculations, if we directed all 8,000 satellites at your flagship, it would be completely destroyed in about 40 seconds. 40 seconds, Velthar repeated. Give or take, Minho said. The armor might last up to a minute. Velthar sat down heavily in the nearest chair. His officers did the same. This is not possible, Reth said. You are a young species. You only just reached space. How can you be more advanced than an empire that has ruled for 300 years? Hana sat down across from them. Her excitement had turned into sympathy. Commander, she said softly. Can I ask you something? In your 300 years of expansion, who did you fight? Who challenged you? Primitives, Velthar said. Civilizations that had barely discovered fire. Some had early spaceflight, but nothing advanced. Did any of them fight back? Really fight back? Velthar was quiet. You've been picking easy targets, Hana said. Not because you're evil, but because you're scared. You're scared of being conquered again. So you only fought people who couldn't hurt you. You never pushed yourselves. You never had to innovate. And humans? Velthar asked bitterly. You pushed yourselves? We had no choice, Taiho said. We only had ourselves to fight. So we fought each other. We built better weapons, better ships, better defenses. We made mistakes. We learned from them. We kept improving. Velthar looked out the window at the Valthoran destroyers still floating dead in space. We cannot defeat you, he said finally. Can we? Captain Jiwoo Kim stared at the screen in front of him. His coffee cup stopped halfway to his lips. The sensor readings showed 300 ships dropping out of faster-than-light travel just outside Earth's orbit. They were big ships. Really big ships. And they all looked like someone had tried to make them scary on purpose. Sir, we're receiving a transmission, said Lieutenant Yuna Choi from the communications station. Her voice was calm, but Jiwoo could hear a tiny shake in it. They're broadcasting on all frequencies. Put it on screen, Jiwoo said. He set his coffee down and straightened his uniform. This was it. Humanity's first contact with alien life. Everything they had prepared for, dreamed about and feared for the last 200 years. The main screen flickered. A tall figure appeared. It had crystalline skin that caught the light in strange ways. Its eyes were large and dark. It wore what looked like armor made of metal plates. Behind it, dozens of similar beings stood at attention. People of Earth, the alien said. Its voice was deep and echoed strangely. I am High Commander Velthar of the mighty Valthoran Empire. For 10,000 years we have ruled the galaxy with absolute power. We have conquered 1,000 worlds. We have crushed all who stood against us. Jiwoo glanced at Dr. Hana Park, the station's chief science officer. She was typing rapidly on her tablet, her eyes wide with excitement. This was her dream come true. Real aliens. Real first contact. Your primitive world has been selected for incorporation into our empire, Velthar continued. You have two choices. Submit to our rule and serve the empire, or resist and face complete destruction. You have 12 hours to decide. The screen changed. It showed what Jiwoo assumed were supposed to be terrifying weapons. Massive cannons. Glowing energy shields. Fleets of fighters launching from carrier ships. Explosions destroying planets. Cities burning. That was when someone in the control room laughed. It was Engineer Minho Kang. He had his hand over his mouth, but his shoulders were shaking. Minho, Jiwoo hissed. Mute your station, but it was too late. The communication channel was still open. And now that Minho had started, other people were joining in. Yuna was biting her lip hard, her face turning red. A technician in the corner made a sound like a dying goose. Even Dr. Hana Park had a strange smile on her face. Those are fusion missiles, Hana whispered, loud enough for everyone to hear. Basic fusion missiles. We stopped using those 50 years ago. And those shields, Minho added, forgetting to whisper. Those are first-generation energy barriers. My grandmother worked on better versions when she was in college. The laughter spread like a wave through the control room. People tried to stop it. They really did. But every time someone looked at the screen showing the mighty Valthoran weapons, they lost control again. On the screen, High Commander Velthar looked confused. He tilted his head. Humans, why do you make that noise? Do you not understand the doom that faces you? Oh, we understand, Jiwoo managed to say. He was trying so hard to keep a straight face that his jaw hurt. We understand perfectly. Commander Velthar, please give us a moment to consult with our leadership. He cut the transmission before anyone could say something that would start an interstellar war. The control room fell silent for exactly 3 seconds. Then everyone burst out laughing at the same time. They think they're scary. Yuna gasped, tears running down her face. 12 star systems! Hana held up her tablet. I just checked their broadcast data. They said they ruled the galaxy, but their empire is only 12 star systems. We have colonies in 15 systems, and we don't even call it an empire. Admiral Taiho Lee's face appeared on a smaller screen. He was calling from Earth's surface from the United Defense Fleet headquarters. He looked very serious. Report, Captain Kim, he said. Jiwoo took a deep breath. He tried to sound professional. Sir, we have made first contact with an alien species. They call themselves the Valthoran Empire. They have demanded our surrender. I see, Admiral Taiho said. And sir, Jiwoo had to pause. And their technology is about 100 years behind ours. Maybe more. Their weapons are primitive. Their ships are slow. Their shields wouldn't stop a modern civilian cargo hauler. Admiral Taiho was quiet for a long moment. Then very quietly he said, You're joking. No, sir, Dr. Park has analyzed their broadcast. Everything checks out. They're serious. They really think they can conquer Earth. Another pause. Then Admiral Taiho did something Jiwoo had never seen before. The stern, always serious Admiral smiled. It was a small smile, but it was there. Well, he said, this is unexpected. Stand by, Captain. I need to call an emergency council meeting. In the meantime, be polite to our new friends. Very polite. We don't want to hurt their feelings. The transmission ended. Jiwoo looked around his control room. His crew was a mix of trained military personnel and civilian scientists. All of them were professional. All of them knew how to handle stress. But right now they all looked like children who had been told the monster under the bed was actually a kitten. Okay, Jiwoo said. Everyone listen up. Yes, this is funny. Yes, we're all thinking the same thing. But these are real people. Real beings from another world. They don't know that we're more advanced. They don't know that we've been colonizing space for 200 years. They don't know that we've built weapons that could crack a moon in half. He looked at each person in turn. They think they're the strongest species in the galaxy. They've probably never met anyone who could fight back. We need to handle this carefully. With respect. We're not going to laugh at them to their faces. We're not going to mock them. We're going to be diplomatic. Understood? Yes, sir, everyone said together. Good. Yuna, open a channel to the Valthoran flagship. Hana, prepare a briefing document about Earth for the Admiral. Minho, run a full scan of their ships. I want to know everything about their technology. But be subtle about it. Don't let them know we're analyzing them. The crew jumped into action. Jiwoo sat back in his captain's chair and picked up his coffee. It was cold now, but he drank it anyway. Humanity had finally met aliens, and the aliens had picked a fight with the wrong species. This was going to be interesting.